Hey y'all, this is Lisa Alford with Talkin' Jacks, and today I wanted to come and talk to you about homestead exemption in the state of Florida. Part of the reason I wanted to do this video today is because I am a real estate agent here in Jacksonville, Florida, and we moved down here about a year and a half ago from North Carolina, and we've just bought our first home in Jacksonville about 3 months ago. And of course we know that we're supposed to file for homestead exemption, and anytime you go to a closing, your title agent is probably going to tell you to be sure that you file for homestead exemption, but most people don't really understand what that means or have any clue how to do that. So I was hoping that by doing this with you and sharing it through YouTube, that it might be helpful to somebody and help save somebody some money. And anyway, I hope you find it helpful, and if you would please subscribe to this channel, give this video a big thumbs up if you like it, and be sure to ring that little bell so that you don't miss any other videos. So if you buy a property in the state of Florida and you plan for it to be your home, you can file a homestead claim on it, and it will save you about $50,000 off of the base price that you are taxed on from the county and state. So I have this cute little thing here. It's called the wrecking ball, and y'all know I'm quite southern. I can't hide that. Anyway, I thought I would check with the wrecking ball. It kind of works like one of those magic 8 balls. And let's just see if what the wrecking ball says about should we file for homestead exemption in the state of Florida. Good gravy, yes. Well, that's a good thing because we were going to file for it anyway. Anyway, I just thought that was cute. Okay, so let's get to it. A couple of things that we need to know. There are a couple of ways that you can file for homestead exemption. You can go down and do it in person at the tax assessor's office, or you can do it online. I have decided to do it online today and to let you see me doing it online so that you can kind of know what to expect. Now, I did kind of dig into it a little bit beforehand and was able to determine that you need a whole lot of information handy before you go and do this online, because it's going to ask you all kinds of questions. I mean, like ridiculous amount of questions. So you will see that I'm blocking out some of the information because it's private and personal and nobody else would want to share that. But anyway, so you need to wait at least 60 days after you have purchased your property from the time that your deed was filed to be able to file for homestead exemption online. And it's preferred if you do it shortly thereafter so that A, you don't forget about it, and B, you don't miss any deadlines. You will want to have a copy of your recorded deed with you so that you can have this recorded information, the recording information up there off of the top, and it has your property parcel number, so that will help you as you're going through too. Okay, so let's get to it. To find the page that we need to be on, we're going to go over to Google and just type in Duval County Homestead Exemption. And so right here, the first thing that pops up is the page that we want to be on. And this kind of gives you some general information about it, and it kind of goes over what I was telling you before, but it goes over some more information, so feel free to read that and understand more about it. And there's a tab right here for File Now Online for homestead exemption. So we're going to go ahead and go to that, and then you can read through this. Again, gives you more information, and this takes you to homestead.coj.net/webform1.aspx. if you wanted to type it in yourself. That's what the link is. Alright, we'll go ahead and start down here. And this tells you all the information that you're going to need, and as you can see, it is a list of information, and it's a lot of private information, so again, you know why I'm blocking that out. Alright, and here we go. Alright, and here's some legal notices you can read through. And I do want to point out that you will want to have all this information before you get started, because it only gives you 60 minutes to go through this application, and you can't come back to it and finish it later. You have to do it all in one sitting. So have everything with you and be prepared and ready to go. Okay. And I'm going to look this up by the property ID. which I saw on here. It is 3. Then you want to confirm everything on this screen. And it asks you, it's any of this, is this property used in part or in whole for rental purposes? No. The following names of this property. Yep. Okay, so what this is telling us is that the cutoff period for 2022 has passed. I knew that going into it, but we are doing this actually for 2023 because we just bought this property 3 months ago, and the sellers had already filed homestead exemption. So this current year, 2022, was based on their homestead exemption. So I don't have to worry about it for this year, but I do have to worry about it for next year. So I want to go on and get this done so that I don't forget about it and there aren't any problems with it later. Okay, so it takes you to the first applicant there and it's asking you all kinds of questions. Are you a current resident of the state of Florida? Yes. Is this property occupied by you as your primary residence? Is this address primary contact mailing address? Are you a citizen? And then it grays out that question. Do you have social? Yes. Do you have a Florida driver's license? Yes. Does it reflect your permanent address? That's important too. You will want your driver's license to already have the address on there that you are filing for homestead exemption with. All right. Let's see. Are you registered to vote? Yes. Do you own a vehicle in the state of Florida? Yes. Are you currently employed? Yes. Have you filed federal income tax in the last 3 years? Well, I hope so. Have you resided at any other location within the last 3 years? Well, yeah. What you been doing if you hadn't? Do you have any ownership of any other property anywhere else, including non-U.S. locations, now or within the last 3 years? Well, yeah, within the last 3 years. We had a house in North Carolina that we sold before we moved down here. Okay, so here's where I'm going to start blocking out some information because this is really personal. And by the way, you guys, if anybody has need for real estate services here in the Jacksonville area, please think about using my services. You can find my information down below this video, and I would be more than happy to help you or your friends out. Okay, then ask you your marital status, spouse's name, date of Florida residence. You know, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't remember when we first moved to Florida. It was at the end of June, but I'm going to say we established residence around the 1st of July because I think that's right. And that was last year. Okay, it's already got my home purchase date because it pulled it up off of the deed that was already filed. So that's a good sign. They're showing that they already have that on record. Okay, and then the date of occupancy was that same date. For us, might have been different for you. Alright, and then I'm going to take this right here. Let's see. I guess you have to have this letter in front of it. It's always hard to know if you're supposed to include dashes and numbers and stuff. You gotta be able to see the issue date on here too. Let's see. Okay. And then it wants your tag plate number. See, I told you, it's all kinds of crazy information, isn't it? Alright, so this is on this car. And last year's taxes we filed was last year. Please enter the address you used for the last federal. Oh boy. Oh. So then it wants to know, because you've told it, I told it that I owned property. Now it wants to know the address of the property that I owned. Now here we go with some more questions. Are you a widower? No. Okay. Have you declared legally blind? No. Have you been declared totally and permanently disabled? No. Are you quadriplegic? No. Have you been declared totally and permanently disabled? Have low income? Okay, a bunch of questions. Has the Veterans Administration declared you, well, we're not vets. Okay. Partial disability. Okay. Are you a senior citizen 65 or older? Because that can get you some other discounts. And if you answered yes to these, you'd probably have to go in to file for that. All right, but we are not over 65. I'm not getting too far away from it, unfortunately. Long-term residency, senior citizen. No. Okay. Surviving spouse of a veteran. Are you a surviving spouse of a first responder? Are you a first responder totally and permanently disabled? So I think the reason they're asking all these questions on this page is to find out if you qualify for any other discounts, which again, you would have to go and up to the county tax assessor's office and file for that. Okay, so this says, based on our answers, you may qualify for the following tax exemptions or benefits, and we do qualify for the full $50,000. Thank you, Lord. We need that. Okay. All right, please review the collected information and accuracy before continuing. I know all that's right because I just did it. Okay. All right. Now, this was for the next spouse. So I'm going to kind of skip through this on the video because it's the same questions. It's just for the spouse instead of for the original applicant. So now I have filled all of that out for myself, and it brings up here and says for exemptions that I am also approved for up to $50,000 on the homestead exemption. So now we're going to click next. We have done both applicants. It's going to have me go through and confirm my prior information. And what is this? File upload. Okay, so it didn't tell me what it wants me to upload. I'm going to guess that's a copy of our deed, of our recorded deed. So I'm going to upload that up and see. It's the only thing I know of to update it. It really would be helpful if they'd say on here. All right, and now it's I've uploaded the deed. I'm assuming that's what they wanted because it really didn't say. And now it wants our digital signatures, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, and then I'm going to ask it to, yes, please send me confirmation of this, and click submit. Application submitted. Yay, we did it. Okay, so that's all there is to it, to filing for your homestead exemption in Duval County in the state of Florida. I hope that that was helpful to some of you, and if you have any other real estate related questions, please be sure to reach out to me. And while we're at it, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Ring that little bell so you don't miss more videos, and subscribe, okay? Thank you so much.